Joining us now, is a big part of the Utah Jazz organization, helping out on the broadcast side as well. And, of course, you know him and remember him as a longtime member of the Utah Jazz, CJ Miles. CJ, how are you?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good.
CJ, Timmy, how are you, man? I appreciate you jumping on short notice.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Had the opportunity to do a full pregame with CJ and got to know him pretty well a couple weeks ago. So it's great to have you on. I just wanted to get your thoughts on, I guess, the first and foremost, the big news. Jaren Jackson Jr., a couple days now, but what's your thoughts on him coming to Salt Lake City and the fit?
I think it's a great trade, honestly. Like, obviously, you hate to see guys go. Like, especially for me, seeing Walt go in that trade, I thought there was a lot of promise for him, but I think it's also going to be good for him on the other side. But with Jaren, just he checks a lot of boxes, right? Like, obviously add some more length, add some versatility, and spread the floor some, great shot blocker. He's a tremendous talent, fits the age group that they're in, right? And fits the trajectory that we thought this team would be on the next couple of years, and they showcased it by making this trade.
How much of a statement is that this long rebuild process might have an end date to it, that like finally you can really focus on winning games? Because I don't know if you had the interaction on Twitter with a lot of fans, but there's a lot of celebration going on with the feeling like, okay, finally we can get back to business.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things you look at with it is it also is a testament to the work of the coaching staff and the players that allows them to make this move, to see just the expedition of the guys and their talent, right? Seeing guys get better, seeing Keontae's jump, seeing the guys off the bench getting better, even seeing Laurie when he's been healthy, being an all-star here, doing these different things, and just being able to see pieces clearly is what allows them to be able to go make that trade. So it's a big, big congratulations to like the player development and the guys being willing to work on themselves.
CJ, as we talked while you were in studio, and I think this is pretty widely known, but you've got a really great and unique relationship with Keontae George and have had his whole life. Would you kind of just go through this jump from your eyes like you did that night for those that didn't hear it, and just what Keontae's had to do for this to be a reality?
I think the biggest thing is just seeing his growth mentally, right? Like, it lets you know more about what type of person and young man he is and becoming, right? Because you see a lot of talented, skillful guys coming to this league. And over the past few years, with the injection of a lot of younger players, guys with the opportunity to become great players in this league and just not being able to put the pieces together. So I think him really having a vision of who he is and who he wants to be is the main part of this. And then allowing the bumps and bruises to be turned into wisdom and not weight on his shoulders and worry on his shoulders. He took every hit and everything into his summers and broke them down and turned things that were deemed as weaknesses into strengths, and started to see how defenses played him, and started to listen to what Will wanted from him, and started to see how his body language was affecting his game and the people around him, and all these different things. And you just see a conscious effort of making those things strengths, because if you want to be the leader of a team and a star player in this league in a long time, you have to take the hints. You have to take the commentary and the coaching the hard way. Like, a lot of guys come in now because they're such big stars their whole lives, they aren't able to take that readjustment period that it takes to become one at another level.
And just so everybody knows, you played high school basketball at Skyline in Dallas with Keontae's father, correct?
Yes, I went. So his mom and dad both went to Skyline High School, played basketball. So I'm friends with both of them. And me and his dad played together. And his dad went on to have a decent college career and play overseas for a long time.
Awesome. And, of course, Skyline High School, home of L.J., Larry Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh,
Grandmama.
I didn't know that.
Michael Johnson. And Michael Johnson.
Wow.
Yes.
And C.J. Miles, who is
C.J. Miles,
is not just a great basketball guy, but one hell of a photographer. You got to check out his stuff. Yeah, I've been impressed, C.J. I've been watching, man.
Thank you so much.
You know, C.J., I want to go back and pretend for a moment that you're a senior at Skyline High School, but it's the current landscape of college athletics. Would you have gone to Texas for a year?
Yeah. And I don't even say that because of the NIL situation and stuff like that, I just say that because of just knowing what I know now, right? Like, just I'm not saying I regret anything, but I know what I could have benefited from it. And I know what that year would do for me as just a human being, right? Like in preparation for going to what I was going to. But yes. And then because of the NIL stuff, also, I would definitely go.
You'd have a little more quid, man.
Yeah. I definitely.
I mean,
would
you
go.
ain't hurting. I know that, but you'd have just a little more.
But just the landscape of it, and it allows you to build a certain type of equity, also, right? Like, and learn the landscape of making deals and doing certain things, and kind of set your trajectory. Like, coming in past years, like, you're kind of trying to figure out what things align with you. And a lot of times when you're young in your career, you do things just because they're paying you. When you're coming up through on an NIL, you're able to kind of like map out things that align with your personality, and people start to get to know you, and you can align with certain brands that get calls from other brands and things like that. You don't have to make as many decisions just off of, let me make as much money as fast as I can because I don't know how long this will last.
It's a great point. CJ Miles joining us right here on 97.5, the EKSL Sports Zone. CJ, when you look at this team and you look at the talent level on this team, throw in Jaren Jackson, and let's just assume Walker Kessler is back next year, and then Ace Bailey continues his development, and then you throw in, hopefully a top 5 draft pick. Just how good could the Jazz be next year? Not long term, but just next year.
I think we see a tremendous jump, and I think they're on a trajectory that we see great teams that build from the ground up go through, right? Like, next year you start to insert expectation, and there's going to be still, I know we're going to get excited, and there's going to be some things that we feel like they should be able to do because of the talent level that they're still not going to be able to do, because there's going to be an adjustment in the mindset and approach to the game, because there's a lot of things from the last couple of years that you have to kind of like let happen because you're trying to get guys experience. So now we're going to have to address a lot of bad habits that we used to let go. Like, I used to leave a guy in for not doing something 2 times. Now I got to yank him because I got to show him the importance of not being on the nail, or not being over and help side, or not communicating on the screen, or a bad shot. I have to like heighten his senses to what's good and bad now, because down the stretch, that's what's going to make the difference in winning now that we have the talent. Because everybody in the league has talent. Now it's the mental side that's going to change. The conditioning is going to change. And we have to build that up next. But they're going to be so great. There's so much length. I got to think about the different types of lineups, because you can play Keontae off the ball with Isaiah, or you can play Keontae with Ace at the 2, Laurie, Kessler, and Jaren. Now you have this big lineup. You have all these different things you can play with now, and these pieces, and we don't even know who the pick's going to be.
Yeah, that's the comment I made after the move, is that the thing I see watching, and I was a college coach, so I watched college, most of my life, and watched the NBA recreationally. But now, over the last 6 years, I've literally watched 82 games every single season. You see the trends, you see what's going on. But with what the Jazz have, in your opinion and mine, they can play matchup bingo all night long against rosters that aren't constructed right, and they're going to try to put a 6'4" dude on Lowry, or and that's the one thing Will's shown me in the time that I've watched. He knows how to attack the weak link on the court, and does it often.
Yeah, he's a student of the game, obviously, from that pop tree. All those guys are, right?
Yeah.
But I think the roster that's built, to your point, they're building something capable of any storm. And that's been the biggest key with the league now, is the versatility. And there's not a lack of players that are versatile now also that you can pick from. There's plenty of 6'8", 6'9" guys that can play different things and do different things, and that's what's coming about. And they're putting the right guys together, and it's been great to watch.
Do you ever look at the league right now and think to yourself, man, if I was 25 years old in the league,
all the time, he's just going to finish it
all the time. All the time, I was too early. Too early. Even when I first came in the league, because we were part of that wave of the Jazz changing into playing faster and doing different things, right? Like, just the way that I was raised up playing basketball, and the creativity that came from just kind of the freedom. There was still a lot of systems in the league at that time, and that was this adjustment to that, especially when you're a high school kid coming up who's been able to do whatever he wants on the floor, not in a bad way, but just like be able to be creative because you've been given that, and now everybody puts you on a leash, right? And you're just like, man. And then they start shooting threes because you got guys. I told this the other day. When I was in Toronto, there were games I'd check in the game, and the assistant coach was like, you got to get 10 threes up tonight.
Yeah.
Like me individually. We were lucky if we shot 18 threes as a team.
Absolutely. I've gone back and looked at the box score. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at your career stats, and your first, I would say, 3-4 years in the league, the highest three attempts per game was 2009, 2010, where you were able to get 3 attempts per game. But then, you mentioned in Indiana, and then later on in Toronto, you're like 6.5, 7. Because
and I arguably probably should have shot more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the crazy part, CJ, is there, like nowadays in 3 minutes before the first time out, like there's 4 guys on the court that are squeezed off 3. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The pace.
And we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
That's why no games are really out of reach anymore because 3 possessions is a 10-point run.
Exactly.
If you do it the right way, and it's happening so fast. So like we can get 3 possessions, we can score 9 or 12 points in a minute and a half, if that. Sometimes.
By the way, you have any good Jerry Sloan stories? I can't imagine some of the stuff.
Hey, I was just going to ask you, CJ. tell the story you told me because I thought that was really just when he put you in the game and got a little resistant.
About him being fair. So like I always tell people like he's the fairest coach that I ever had. And there's no offense to any of the coaches. I love Bogle. I love Mike Brown. I loved Case. I loved them all. But he was the first one. I'll say the first one that I saw that worked this way. But there was a time when I was young and I was doing everything that they asked me to do. I was working my tail off in practice, having good practice, doing the extra work, doing all these things. And we didn't have the D League. The G League wasn't really what it was. We didn't really have a lot of player development. So there weren't a lot of ways that I could really continue to develop without playing. And we go to Houston. And it's one of the first times my family can really come to a game, and I'm actually dressing out. I'm on the actual active roster and all these things. And I remember the game's going on, and Jerry and Phil are talking. Phil did all the subs, and Jerry and Phil kind of get into like a little tiff. And Jerry's like, I hear Jerry scream out, he deserves to play. And he puts me in the game. And like he fought for me to get in the game, even breaking rotation. And then he ran like the first 3 plays that I was in the game through me. Like he put me at point to handle it one time and he did something else. I didn't play a lot, but just the fact that he went out of his way to do that and he gave his tickets for my parents to sit closer for it, the whole 9, like everything he did for me that night, like it's one of the things that really sticks in my mind of just him like showing that he saw me, right? Like, and he was doing everything he could with what we had at that time as far as the way things were done, right? Like, and he's greatly appreciated. Like he's one of my favorites.
A lot of people think that Jerry was the bad cop and Phil was the good cop. Sometimes that was switched. That Jerry was the good cop and Phil was the bad cop. Yeah.
But, they definitely switched because there's a story. I think I told him the story about Phil, too. Like, Phil, I came out of the game from guarding Rip Hamilton back when he was in Detroit one time. And I come out, and Rip is, like, just giving me the business because he's just running me to death, right? And I come to the bench exhausted. Like, I'm head down. I'm pissed, right? Like, and he comes over, and he's laughing at me. Like, literally, hysterically. He sits beside me, and I look at him. I'm like, what's the deal? This is like the end of the first quarter. And he goes, you look like Rip trying to guard Jeff Hornacek when Jeff was doing the same thing. And I was like, that's funny and all, but tell me how to stop him. Like, don't laugh at me, right? Like, tell me something.
Oh, man. Hey, who in the league right now would you pay actual money for to watch that you're like, okay, I need to watch this guy?
And Edwards.
Okay.
Love him. I love KD. I love to watch KD play basketball. But and Edwards, KD, I love Shea. I love watch Oklahoma City play because they just play so hard and unapologetic, right? They don't care if they fouled you. Like, they don't care.
That's exactly
they don't
right.
Change it. They don't change it if they fouled you either. It's like, well, we know we got away with it, or we should have got, or we're just going to play the same way. Wemby, obviously. And I'm down here in San Antonio, so I've done that multiple times already. Who else?
Jokic.
Speaking of Jokic, and then speaking of also on KD's team, the twin, I always mix their names up. Which one is in Thompson?
It's Amen there.
I love him.
Yeah.
Amen, yes, I love him. He's like to me, he's Ron Artest times 3.
Yes.
Hey,
Like, and I mean the run out test that I met when I first got in the league. That was scoring, and that was the Indiana run out test, not the one
not
later
Meta
that was
World
with
Peace.
Kobe. Yeah, not that one. Yeah, Sacramento, Indiana, that run out test.
All right, so you've forgotten more about basketball than I'll ever know. So I need you to help. I need you to explain this one to me. How Harden seems like he's going to take the ball. Donovan Mitchell needs to have the ball in his hands. It seems like that's going to be a little bit less in Cleveland. Do you think Cleveland got better with that trade?
I don't know. That one's tricky. But I do know that James has shown us in a real point guard role that he can do it and he has no problem doing it. I think he does add some different things than Darius Garland. And I think, they're different bodies, different experiences, right? But I will take James in the pick and roll over a lot of people in the league, though. And
the problem is going to be the other end, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nobody to guard.
So with the two bigs they have offensively in the pick and rolls with him, he's going to have a field day. But like you said, but that's the same thing. I'm no shot to anybody, but Darius Garland wasn't really guarding.
No, he wasn't. No.
So if it could be better for them.
True.
Because you get like a really prolific, the type of things that James is going to do. Not that Darius can't, but there's some added things that James has and has proven to have that Darius hasn't had the chance to yet.
You know, it's interesting. I got to imagine when you go down and you're watching a shoot around or you're watching, pregame warmups, and back in the day, it was Jerry, it was Phil, and then, a couple other assistants, and that was it. Now it seems like there's an assistant coach and trainer for each individual player.
Yeah.
Do you kind of giggle a little bit when you see that?
Yeah, that we talked about that too last time I was up in Utah. Just like there's no coincidence in the guys being so skilled now.
Right.
They've had trainers since they were young, and now then all the player development in the league, right? It's just about translating and understanding where to put the skill. Now everybody's got so much skill they don't know what to do with it. So they get in the game and they try to be everything. And a lot of guys aren't meant to be everything. But they work on everything, and sometimes you kind of got to be disciplined in the box a little bit before you get to expand. So we can get you these opportunities that expand your minutes to get to that. But, yeah, there's so much, and it's a great thing to see, but it's now guys get in the game and some of them don't know how to reel it in.
CJ, we got to do this more often, man. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Hey, and follow CJ if you don't on Twitter because you can see his awesome. He just posted 19 hours ago some cool pictures of Texas high school basketball at Moss Fresco. And
it's that on everything. Yeah, Moss Fresco on Instagram, Twitter, anywhere you're looking, you'll find it that way. I appreciate the shout out.
The theme of the day has been authenticity, and you fit that bill. Awesome to have you on. Thanks so much on short notice for coming, and we'll talk soon.
For sure. Yes, sir. I'll see you soon. I'm back up there soon.
Let's do it.
Just give me a warning so I know not to get I got you.
I got you. All right.
See you, man.